Welcome to Dub Nation, your home for all things Golden State Warriors. Highlights, hot takes, and pure Dubs energy. Join the squad. This is where champions live.
Electrifying or dropping. I mean, it's hard to put into words the greatness of this dude. But he put it on display and basically put the world on notice. There's levels to this. There are stars all over the place. There are even superstars that you can look. But there's still another level. And there's nobody on Sacramento that could touch that level. Wilbon and I watched this game together. And I literally said, Wilbon, I'm not definitively stating it. I had to be educated, Jalen, by the Godfather. I had to be educated by other Hall of Famers who will remain nameless. But I literally said, we need to have the discussion as to whether or not this man is the greatest point guard who has ever lived. Because when you're talking about impact and the fact that he could affect so many things because of his shooting ability, I've never seen anything like it. But I'm not surprised.
Historic, that's the word. 50 in a game 7, 50. On the road, 50. It's never happened. Not since the merger, not, in the era of this or that or these combination garbage statistics. And Steph Curry demoralized the number 3 seed, a team that had just beat them down in San Francisco the previous game. That's how great Steph Curry.
Hours ago.
And one thing, Stephen and I, we were going back and forth. At this point, we got time because it's a 20-point game. We were going to drag Jalen in. He was trying to concentrate on the game itself of basketball. Are the only people to have the kind of game Steph Curry just had. So people, if you watched it, savor it. If you didn't,
go
watch
back and
a
do
replay,
it again.
something, get a hold of this and see what you missed.
From a historical context, you guys nailed it. So I'll go X and O's wise. For years, I've called Steph Curry the vanguard of this era. Not a point guard or a shooting guard, something that we'd never seen. And all of us grew up in one way, shape, or form watching the Harlem Globetrotters. And I always wondered what it would be like if Curly Neal or Marcus Haynes played in the actual NBA. And when you call Steph Curry the greatest shooter that God has seen, it's not just catch and shoot. Usually the best shooter doesn't have great handles. Usually the guy with great handles isn't one of the best guys to play off the ball and do dribble handoffs and relocations. He does that as well. We're not even talking about the multiple finger rolls like George Gervin he made in today's game as well. Playing with his mouthpiece hanging out of his mouth, okay? This is something we've never seen.
Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Because we're diving into a story that shakes the very foundation of basketball history. At 37 years old, when most legends crumble into retirement or cling to bench roles, Steph Curry isn't just playing, he's dominating. In 2025, this man, this anomaly, averaged 24, 5 points, 6, 0 assists, and 4 rebounds across 70 games, with a surgical 44, 8% from the field, and a jaw-dropping 93. 3% from the free throw line, 357 three-pointers at 41. 2% numbers that scream he's not just the greatest shooter ever, but the greatest point guard to ever lace up. Forget Magic Johnson, forget Isaiah Thomas, forget even the ghosts of the past. Curry is rewriting the script, and the NBA world is trembling in his wake. But here's the controversy. Some still dare to whisper that he's overrated, that his shooting is a gimmick, that he's carried by his team. Are you kidding me? This is the man who, on the 27th of February, dropped 56 points on Orlando, nailing 12 threes in a performance that left jaws on the floor. Over a month later, he torched Memphis for 52 points again. 12 triples, 3 50-point games this season alone, tying his career high. Tell me, who else at 37 is doing this? But numbers only tell half the story. Let's talk about the moments that made 2025 the year Curry cemented his immortality. Buckle up. This is where it gets wild. If you thought Curry's 2016 unanimous MVP season was untouchable, 2025 said, "Hold my beer." The 2nd of January, 2025, against the Philadelphia 76ers, Curry did the unthinkable. 8 for 8 from three-point land, a perfect night, dropping 30 points and 10 assists in a 139-105 annihilation. Social media exploded. Fans called it sorcery. Haters called it luck. Luck. This man is a walking cheat code. On the 11th of November, he dropped 36 points and 7 assists to outduel the Thunder. 2 days later, he sealed a 120-117 thriller against Dallas with the Warriors' final 12 points, leaving Klay Thompson, his former brother-in-arms, stunned in his Bay Area return. Then came Christmas Day, a 115-113 earthbreaker against the Lakers. Curry, 38 points, 8 of 15 from 3, tying the Christmas Day record for most triples. This wasn't just a game, it was a statement. I'm still the king. And let's not forget the 8th of February in Chicago, where he erupted for 24 points in a single quarter, his 41st career 20-point quarter, more than anyone since the NBA started tracking in 1997. Who else is doing this at 37? LeBron, Durant, nobody. The audacity of this man to keep rewriting history is why he's not just a star, he's a supernova. These moments aren't just highlights, they're proof of Curry's unmatched legacy. But what if I told you he's not just breaking records, he's shattering the very fabric of the game? Let's dive into his historic milestone, March 2025. A date etched in NBA immortality. Steph Curry became the first player ever to hit 4,000 career three-pointers. 4,000. Let that sink in. He closed the season with 4,058, a number so absurd, it feels like science fiction. Ray Allen, Reggie Miller. They're legends, but they're light years behind. The next closest active player, Damian Lillard, with under 3,000, Curry's in a league of his own, a galaxy of his own. And he's still climbing. This milestone isn't just about numbers, it's about revolution. Curry changed basketball. Before him, teams hesitated to shoot 23s a game. Now, they're launching 40, 50, because of him. Critics say the three-point era ruined the game. But Curry didn't ruin it, perfected it. His 41.2% from deep in 2025 on 357 makes isn't just elite, it's a middle finger to every doubter who said he'd slow down. At 37, he's not just surviving the three-point revolution, he's still its emperor. From 4,000 threes to all-star glory, Curry's 2025 was a masterclass in dominance. But how does he keep shining under such immense pressure? Let's unpack the weight he carries. Imagine the pressure. You're 37, the face of a franchise, the gold standard for point guards, and every night, the world expects you to be perfect. That's Steph Curry's reality in 2025. His 11th All-Star nod, his 10th as a starter, wasn't just a popularity contest, it was a testament to his unrelenting brilliance. On the 25th of January, he was named a Western Conference starter for the 2025 All-Star Game, outshining younger stars like Shai Gilgeous, Alexander and Luka Doncic. Then, on the 17th of February, he stole the show, dropping 20 points and 6 threes to win his second All-Star Game MVP, leading Team Shaq to victory in the Bay Area. But it's not just about accolades. Curry's carrying Golden State's championship hopes while mentoring a young core: Brandon Podziemski, Jonathan Kuminga, Trace Jackson Davis. He's the general, the heartbeat, the soul of the Warriors. And yet, tragedy struck. A grade 1 hamstring strain in the playoffs against Minnesota sidelined him for 4 games, forcing him to watch his team crumble, losing 4-1. The pain of that injury, the agony of watching from the bench, it's a stark reminder. Time is undefeated, but Curry, he's defying it, fighting it, spitting in its face with every deep three and every clutch dagger. The weight of greatness is heavy, but Curry carries it like a titan. So why do some still doubt him? Let's confront the haters head on. Here's where it gets heated. Steph Curry is the greatest point guard in NBA history, period. 4 championships, 2 MVPs, a Finals MVP, 11 All-Star nods, and 4,058 threes. Magic Johnson had vision, but lacked Curry's scoring. Isaiah Thomas had grit, but not Curry's range. Oscar Robertson, a pioneer, but he never faced today's competition. Curry's not just better, he's redefined the position, blending playmaking, scoring, and leadership in a way no one ever has. But the haters, they're loud, they scream, he's just a shooter. They cry, he's carried by Draymond and Klay. They point to his playoff injury as proof he's mortal. To them, I say, wake up. Curry's 2016 season changed the game forever. And in 2025, he's still the standard. No one matches his efficiency, his clutch gene, his ability to bend defenses with a single step back. The debate is over Curry's the GOAT PG, and anyone saying otherwise is just shouting into the void. The verdict is in, but Curry's story isn't done. As we close, let's ask, what's next for the man who defies time? Steph Curry's 2025 was a battle cry, a reminder that legends don't fade, they evolve. At 37, he's not just playing for rings, he's playing for immortality. With a $62.6 million contract extension through 2026-27, he's locked in to chase another title, to silence the doubters, to inspire the next generation. The Warriors' young core is rising, but Curry remains the sun around which they orbit. Will he lead them to a fifth championship? Will he hit 5,000 threes? One thing's certain, the chef is still cooking, and the NBA better brace for the heat. So, Dub Nation, sound off in the comments. Is Curry the greatest PG ever? Drop a like, subscribe, and join us next time as we unpack the NBA's biggest stories. This is Channel Name, and we're just getting started. This is Dub Nation, where Warriors never back down. Hit that like, drop a comment, and stay locked in for the next big play. Till next time, Dubs out.